this is John Bollinger with Premier Guitar. Today we're doing a review demo of the Tremulator by Demeter. Now, the story goes that Ry Cooder back in the 80s had approached Demeter about making a pedal that would give him the tremolo sound of his favorite amps. And so essentially this is one of the first boutique pedals made, one of the first people that was actually doing boutique pedals. And it's roughly 30 years later, and they've just done some tweaks to it with a new model, giving you all the old sounds with some improvements. And we'll tell you all about it after I tell you about how we're recording this. I'm plugging my stock 66 Strat right into the pedal. The pedal's being powered by Voodoo Labs Pedal Power. It's running into this Fender Supersonic amp in the clean channel, but we'll get in the dirty channel later on. And they're both basically clean. Here's what it sounds like. Flat EQ, and then dirty channel. So basically flat, going through those two. We're miking it with a Royer R121 mic, and that's going into an FG Quartet and into Pro Tools. So basically, Strat, pedal, amp, mic, Pro Tools. So this pedal sounds great, not just because it's built well with good components, but because it gives you, the player, all these tweaking options to kind of dial it in like you want. First, we'll start over here. The first control is the bias. And essentially what the bias control does, it adjusts the on and off ratio of the optical unit. That may not make a lot of sense to you non-engineers out there, like myself, but in short, right in the middle is what they call the Cooder tone, which is, I guess, what Ry Cooder was going for. And I would say that's very old, brown Tolex Fendery kind of sound, that old school. Just killer. But as we turn it one way or the other, you're going to get some variations on that. So why don't we try that? So that's straight up Cooder tone, as they call it. Let's roll it back. So I don't know how to describe that, but it's very cool, all those different shades. Yeah, I love that. I love being able to kind of tweak that where you want it. And because I don't know what most of you are like, but a lot of times when I'm trying to dial up a tone, I don't really know what I want. I kind of know it when it sounds right, because it's all about context. Like a tone might sound great until, by itself, but then you hear with a band or whatever with a certain song, you need to tweak it. So I love that you got that option. Anyway, that's the coolest knob in my estimation. But wait, there's way more. Right here, Wave, this is really cool. It gives you everything from a really hard square, like which is pretty intense. And then we bring it down the other way. And at that point, you barely even notice it. It's amazing how it changes when you put it on the, the more subtle triangle setting. It just makes it kind of sweet. Kind of sweet, right? But go the other way and it's anything but sweet. That is almost like a that tone just says something's wrong. Something's gonna happen. That's like that is like something bad is going to happen. So I love that. I love having those options. Over here we have depth, which, pretty obvious, make you anything from barely even notice it. To seasick extreme. Very cool. Cool thing about the depth too, in conjunction with the gain, if you put your depth down to almost nothing, this gain just acts as a boost. Observe, I've had it up all the way because I just like the sound of it. It seems to kind of give the amp a little more boost and compression. I just like a boost in front of an amp. So dig this. Here's with it on. Here it is off. That's a big jump. So the cool thing about this pedal, you could literally have it in it's a great way to economize. In a way, I could use this as 2-in-1. It could be your tremolo, but it could also just act as a boost. If you, when you say you're playing along and it's solo time, now if you add a little dirt to that, dig this on the dirty channel. That's pretty cool. Just as a boost, man, that overdrive sounds so much more alive. I like a boost in front of a clean amp, but if you've got a little bit of dirt in your amp and put a boost on like that, it really takes off. So that's cool. Anyway, small diversion. We're really, the gain thing it's cool. In some tremolos I've found, drop your signal. I've got one pedal that when you hit it on, it really pulls it back so much that, it's a little jarring, it won't always fit. I love that you can add as much as you want, or take it down enough where there's nothing at all. So very cool. Next over here we have speed, and here's really where a pedal like this beats an amp, because you can get a speed, you have so much more speed control than you have on an amp tremolo, because they're just somewhat limited. But this, you can get it from so slow that, why bother? To really fast. I'll just kind of spin and you can listen. Pretty cool, right? So those are the basics on the Tremulator by Demeter. To read the full written review, go to premierguitar.com. While you're online, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hours of great guitar geekery there. Check out the Premier Guitar podcast. They're super fun. And like us on Facebook. Facebook has so much stuff there. In fact, today we did a 20-minute live thing from my house as I was preparing for this very demo. So I'm going to take us home on, as I said, Ry Cooder was the guy who was behind this. So we got to play some slide guitar on a Ry Cooder-ish pedal.
Don't forget to sign up for PG Perks, your all-access pass to exclusive gear giveaways and discounts on PremierGuitar.com.